Our life wants to go, oh, I'm selfish people and they don't think anything. I'm not doing that again for them. God says, I want to do it again. And if they don't miss it, one day they're going to catch it. That's a great God we have. You know, my brother preached earlier and he spoke on some ethics and morals, and he brought out some different things here. But I've got some other statistics that are more modern and up to date. But even back here, it's got here that it says, if you have food in the refrigerator and clothes on your back and a roof overhead and a place to sleep, you're richer than 75% of the world. Isn't that something to praise God about? You're in the first 25% of the richest people in the world. I see statistics saying that if you have 2 cars and a house, you're in the top 2% of the world's richest people. Think about it. And we complain and whinge because we get a $300 bill from electricity. Look how much we have compared to the world. Here's some statistics. Almost half the world, over 3 billion people, live on less than $2.50 a day. These statistics, some of them are a couple of years old and some are fairly up to date. Did some research last night on them. And these ones are from the World Bank Development Indicators. And it says that 80% of humanity live less than $10 a day. 80% live on less than $10 a day. Could you live on $10 a day? Praise God for all He's done for us here. It says, UNICEF says this, 24,000 children a day die. 24,000 a day children die due to poverty. And they're an invisible death. People don't even see them. Nearly 1 billion people entered the 21st century unable to read a book or sign their name. 1 billion. If you can read your word, thank the Lord that you have been taught to read. How wonderful. That's exciting enough for the rest of our lives to just keep praising God for. But we miss the little things until we see the bad. But we need to see the little things that we have and just worship Him for it. It says, if less than 1% of weapons spent every year is all that's needed to put every child into a school. Less than 1%, but it's still not done. Does that say something? AIDS kills over 3 million people in 2004 alone. Imagine now. And 300 to 500 million people every year have malaria and die from it. 300 million. You think, well, who's left? But new people are being born all the time, obviously. Water problems affect half humanity. 2 in 3 lack access to clean water. 2 out of 3. And we turn our tap on. Do we have stuff to thank God for? People walk for kilometres to get maximum of, say, 5 litres a day or 10 litres a day is all they have. 1.9 billion children are living without shelter. 1.9 billion. 400 million of them have no access to water. And 270 million have no access to health. And 1.6 billion people live without electricity. Wow. Thank you, Lord. Let us not forget the good things that we have and those who do not. Because we can get tied up with all that we have and miss those who have not. That's why we're a church that reaches out and we go globally helping people. Globally, I'm telling you. There's a number of countries now that we're working with, and missionaries and people like Stu who go around the world and people who do different things. That's you. You're going with them because we support them. Do not forget the things that he gives us. Worship him and thank you for your breath. Thank you for your family. Thank you for the car that you drove today here. Thank you that you haven't even got a car. But Lord, you're in it. David was a great worshipper, and he just says, for everything, let me not forget. Let me not forget how great you are. Sometimes I believe we need to just sit and ponder and wonder and thank the Lord for the great things. Sometimes we just need to sit down. We don't do it very often. And just sit by yourself and just think of the good things that God's done. You know, and as we do that, the Holy Spirit will download on you, talk to you about things, and speak to you. It says in the verse that he forgives. Isn't it great to be forgiven? It's hard when you hold something that someone else won't forgive you and you love them and they just won't forgive you. But he forgives. He forgives it all. What a great God. He says he heals those who are sick. We've heard testimonies of healing here. He delivers the oppressed. He heals those who are oppressed, depressed, obsessed, whatever. Possessed, all the zests. He delivers them all. And he says he crowns love and compassion upon our lives. He satisfies life, the good things in life. You know, we miss the good things. I know I miss them sometimes. And don't enjoy and get satisfied by some of the things because you always say, well, there's got to be one better. You know, I'll let you a little secret of mine. We've travelled the world a little bit. And one thing that I really feel sad about in my life, and God's working in it, is that I really haven't, the last holiday just about, I've never found a place that would just take my breath away. Absolutely just take my breath away and go, my goodness. In New Zealand, we went in one spot there. Hey, I said, I probably took 60 photos. I just thought, this is so good. And I camped there and took another 60 photos. But we have to look around and see the goodness that God does, yeah? And I think sometimes we watch a lot of programs and we see all the beauty on these movies and things, and it sort of hardens our heart to a lot of beauty. And it's the same when we see hard things happen. Sometimes, like if the movies, there's a lot of killing and stuff, and then someone gets hurt and you go, oh, get up and suck it in, eat some cement and harden up. Yeah? It's wrong. We have to be compassionate. He says here that the result of all that God does is so you can be renewed like a young eagle. See, God pours things into our life, but there's a result. And the result is that he wants that in your life. I've got to move on here. We've got to do communion. It says he's fair. He executes justice for all the oppressed, all those who are mistreated. Have you ever been mistreated? Justice is on its way. Do you know justice will happen at the end? You know, as a pastor, one of the biggest things, I was talking to some pastors this week. One of the pastors said, you know, he just came into taking on a senior role, a senior pastor's role. And he said, if I only knew. He said, I wouldn't have done it. He said, it's so hard. It's unbelievably hard. All the people blame you. He says, the whole church blames me if something goes wrong. I said, well, welcome to our world, bro. You wouldn't do it if you weren't called, but you'd love it if you are. And it's good.